August 4th, 2022. Early morning. The NHS, carrying out its normal daily activities, suddenly attacked. Services that help dispatchers send their ambulances, allows access to medical services, referrals, emergency medicine, booking of appointments, even accessing and looking at patient records. Everything came to a complete halt. The target? Advanced, a software that runs the backbone of every single hospital in England. NHS, they prepared for the worst. Returning these systems back to normality would take weeks. It would cause delays, cause problems in accessing healthcare all over England. But why? What was the reason for this attack? What happened to one of the world's most advanced and computerized healthcare systems? To understand this, you have to really understand what ransomware is, which is a malicious attack, software, programs you download on your computer. It blocks and encrypts your data. It makes it impossible to access. It holds your data as virtual hostages until you, like normal hostages, pay up. Dodgy email, weakness in the firewall, hackers gain access to your computer and attack for money in any way they see fit. And healthcare providers around the world, well, the data they hold on an entire population of a country, that is one of the most amazing leverages for extortionate ransoms. Which is why from March to June 2022, in that short time period, cyber attacks on healthcare systems around the world doubled. But with all of this, all of these attacks on healthcare, on well-being, and the world's population, and the private information, none of them, nothing even compares or is as infamous as WannaCry. 2017 was a year where the world faced shock and awe. Britain triggered Article 50, started the infamous Brexit. North Korea tested its first nuclear missile that can travel all the way to coastal America. Global economic growth, it was booming for the first time in 10 years after the great crash of 2008. Everyone predicted we had a bright future, but that was all before COVID hit and completely destroyed the economy, but we move. But on the morning of May the 12th, 2017, a worm started to eat its way around the globe. One computer, then the next, then the next, then the next, all over the World Wide Web, infesting. The worm, it was first developed by America's National Security Agency, NSA. They found an exploit in old and dead Microsoft Windows computers. Microsoft, the people who makes Windows, they released a patch, a type of protection for computers who are vulnerable to these exploits. But there were still computers around the globe who did not have the patch. Or even worse, they were too old to receive it, leaving them all vulnerable. 200,000 computers, 150 countries, billions of dollars. That was the damage of that one worm. But what did this worm do? Again, it's a ransomware. The WannaCry ransomware. Holding your data hostage for the price of $600 in Bitcoin. The WannaCry attack ended on 3 p.m. on May 12th, 8 hours into the infestation. But by then, thousands of NHS hospitals and surgeries were attacked. 80 out of the 230 plus hospital trusts, they were all brought down to a complete halt. ambulance services, a world of chaos for them. A deceiving email that had a diseased link is all that was needed to bring the NHS to a standstill for several days. It brought hospitals all the way back to the early 20th century. Pen and paper, not keyboard and mouse. It meant accessing and passing data along was slow, inefficient. Operations were delayed. 19,000 appointments were cancelled. And all of this cost the NHS £92 million. And you know what the worst part is? This could have all been prevented. The NHS has forever been criticised for being careless with its outdated computers and services. They had computers running 17-year-old, really old, vulnerable, unreliable, unprotected Windows XP. Microsoft released a protective patch for Windows 7 on March 2017. But by May 2017, most of NHS computers who even had Windows 7, they were still unprotected. No patch. No one bothered to download it. The NHS was warned by the government a year prior to the attack that they were vulnerable, but they did not respond until 2 months after WannaCry. The NHS had no plan in place when attacks and outages like this happened. Simply put, the entire healthcare system of the UK was putting lives in danger. In the end, WannaCry was stopped all by accident. An accidental kill switch, found accidentally by a cybersecurity expert. But even that did not stop the determined hackers from trying to kill the kill switch, cause another spread. But it's not like that mattered to the victims who fell prey to the worm already. Even after paying the ransom, people's information was not given back to them. It was all crunched up, destroyed, forever encrypted. The NHS, luckily, for the first time in their lives, they did something right. They didn't pay the ransomware. They didn't pay the ransom at all. They didn't pay anyone any money. But they still lost vital patient information. £150 million. That's how much was poured into the NHS to protect their fragile healthcare security, their old and decaying infrastructure. But in February 2018, out of 200 health trusts who were tested for cybersecurity after this injection of money, they all failed in this test. But the hope shines in that 3 years prior to the attack, the NHS was hit with 203 ransomware attacks. But 3 years after, only 6. In the end, it was found that a group called Eternal Shadow leaked the program created by America, which was called Eternal Blue, and that was used to make WannaCry. The source of the attack was traced back to a friendly neighborhood, all the way near friendly North Korea. And whilst the worm remains dormant in the vast, deep, dark web, maybe one day its wrath will return.